All right, welcome back to the RC Barn. On this episode, we're going to continue with the Flying King. I'm going to show you guys how to use this Great Plains wing jig, and we're going to get a left wing panel built. I mean, hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have 3 wing panels, because that's what we're shooting for. 3, they get built in 3 sections. We'll see if we got enough sticks and stuff to carry us through to get all 3 wing panels went. We're going to go ahead and do a mod to the center wing. I'll show you guys that later. Anyhow, I've laid some stuff out here, and let's show you what we're going to be doing, and then let's see if we can get it all in here in one view. Probably not. It's a pretty big wing. How's that? That don't look too bad. Okay, so the biggest thing, like I said earlier, we drilled the 1/4-inch holes in all the stacks before we sliced all the ribs off. Went ahead and made those 2 spare ones that we needed. Those will probably end up in the right wing panel, is where they're going to go. Anyhow, I've done some prep work here. Great Plains recommends that you take some scrap and make a jig like this of your rib spacing. So we got 2 of them, because we got 2 different rib spacings. We got a short one here. This is for going between the root rib and the aileron. So we'll use this a couple of times because it matches up with all 3 wing panels. I've already done some preliminary thing here. The one thing that I don't really, you got to remember, this is the first time I've used this jig, so we're just kind of getting a feel for it. But biggest thing I would think that you would need to do is make sure that once you set this up, is not to put any glue joints in here, but get that first rib true to the rods here. So something like that maybe. And then obviously as we add the spars and stuff, so we're going to build the top structure complete, and then we'll undo the rods and we'll flip the whole thing over upside down, and at that point this will be a pretty strong structure as is. So we're just getting, let's see, I'm taking my jig here and spacing these ribs out. They move pretty easily on the rods, which is one of my, I guess, my complaints so far, is that they do move so easily. So if you bump into it, then you're going to throw everything out of whack. So what I'm going to do here is kind of get things where they need to go. Hopefully we don't have to move. Nope, we're good there. And then that's where the little one goes, is over here. Okay. And I get the little one over here. I'll try to work fast here so we don't spend a whole lot of time on this video, make it too damn long. So something like that. And we're pretty close there for how that wing panel is going to come out. I went ahead and I cut a top spar. This is what are these? These were like 1/4 by 1/2. I had them in stock, so I went ahead and did that, and you probably won't be able to see them too well, but I put little tick marks, line them up with the plan, and that'll give us a baseline for rib spacing, since we are not building straight to the plans. I've only done it on this one spar, so you're scratch building like this. This should go pretty quick, to be honest. And I left it just a tickle on there, so it should start getting getting more and more harder to move things around here as we add pieces. Little eyeball there. There's that. Let's see how we look up here. Little off. Once you start adding glue, that'll lock all this into place. I can see a lot of moving around here. Checking things, double checking things. Well, maybe my, wonder what's off. Is it my gauge or is it clamps? Let's run with that. Let's get a tape measure and we'll measure the plans as far as how long this wing panel is supposed to be. Do it right here. There. Then we got 21.5. I think the biggest thing here is maybe did I not measure that right? Nice thing about a wing jig is you can move it. You ain't wanting down to the plans. Oh, I bet I did. So we got $22 up there. Let's see, what do we got here? 22. Okay. That's not bad. Let's just double check everything. Imagine you can go off of the thing here and hit things square. I think the most important part when you're building a wing is just making sure everything's straight. Especially your tip and your ribs. Okay. Yay, first glue joint. Well, that's working pretty good. Having a narrow triangle, as you can see, helps out a lot. Keep getting in between here, all these. Once you're happy with it, just glue her in. I think it might help a little bit to put a one straight. Not really. With this one, put the bowed one on the bottom since we're still should have probably cut this one down a little bit too. Nice tight fit joints here. Let's see. This one looks off. Wow. Anyways, you get the idea here, just to get everything straight. I am using Boss Smith Industries medium. It'll soak into them ribs pretty good, I would imagine. And it's not going to dry super fast either, so I got time to work here. There we go. I like that. Anyways, I'm going to get you on time lapse. That's what we're up to. And it'll probably take me, maybe an hour or two to get this all framed up. All right, well, it took about 45 minutes. You watched in about 2 minutes. Gotta love time lapse, right? I don't know if you guys enjoyed that or not. Let me know. They can get a little repetitive doing some of this stuff, especially when you're building multiple wing panels. So basically, I'm at the point where I got the. You see how quick that went once I got everything set up, and I mean, I think that's the kind of the key to the building jig is just getting everything set up. I flipped it a couple times once I got the top all done up. Come out really nice. It calls for 4-inch sheeting on the front. I don't have any 4-inch 3/32, so I made do with what I had and went ahead and added this 1-inch. It wasn't quite 1 inch. I wanted to leave a little bit in my spar here for my cap strips to lay in because this all gets cap stripped. I do believe that this center section will get sheeted. Yep, it does. I'll have to do that real quick before I pull it off of the jig. That'll make it a little easier. I'll do the top. I'll pull it off the jig and then we'll do the bottom, and then I'll have to wait to do the bottom until I get my Airlon servo mounts. Airlon servo goes right in here, so I got to get those put in place. I got to figure out what kind of servos I want to put in this. What do you guys think? I got standards. I got some cheapos over there that I could put in here. I don't know if I have enough of them or not to be a good test for them. I got them from MikeGoesFlying.com. Hashtag not sponsored, but I buy a lot of stuff from him, and he had some. I think it was last Black Friday. He had a really cheap servos, high torque, metal geared stuff, 6-volt, high voltage. I think I bought 20 of them or something like that. So that might be something that I put in here. I didn't even think about that. This is not going to be a fast airplane by any means. They're kind of like gentle giants. They don't call for a huge power plant for, you know, an 80-inch wingspan. So I think the only reason why this one calls for a little bit more power than the Cadet Senior is because they are pretty much the same airplane. This one probably builds a little heavier. It's a little beefier than the Senior is. But anyhow, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and what do we want to do here? You want to watch me sheet the center section here? I could probably use some of these scraps, couldn't I? Got a lot of them. This will not take very long at all. Where's my, as long as I got all my stuff here. Let's get you in. How's that? Oh, beautiful. Kind of eyeballing it. We'll sand everything down later when we are ready to join wing panels. That's the other thing. You don't the other thing I made a change on, that's just basically personal preferences, my shear webs. The plans call for them to be between the two spars. The plan calls for the spars to be, or yeah, blah, if I can talk. Let's see. The shear webbing, it calls for it to be between the two ribs. And I don't like doing that. I don't like those I-beams. They're kind of fussy to get in there, make sure they fit real nice between the spar, the top and the bottom. You got to be pretty accurate with your sheeting to do that. And I find it just easier to tie the two spars together and put it on the back side of the rib or back side of the spar. You can probably see some of them here. I will fill this gap in. I'll have to cut a special piece because there again I don't have any 4-inch sheeting to do. So anyhow, yeah, thinking I was gonna come here and just pull this thing off the jig. At least get the majority of it in here anyways. I do take a pencil while I'm sheeting, and if I'm going to like dead space that I call it, like out in the middle of the rib here, I'll mark it where it goes to, and then that leaves me a mark to put my glue to, so I'm not wasting glue. Little tip there for you if you're doing like center section sheeting, or if you're sheeting the leading edge and you don't have a wide enough piece here. I will come back here. You can see how flexible this is. I'll come back here and we'll reinforce that joint with some CA and stuff. So anyhow, that's close enough. I can get that other little piece in there. Not a big deal. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to do the ailerons. This is aileron, not flap. Well, let's see what she looks like. God, this one's got some weight to it. Well, that's a good sign. Of course, it had 1/4 inch. Let's see if we can get you an eyeball here. That's pretty straight. You can see that. See what our twisting looks like. None. There's no twisting in this wing. So anyways, the next steps on this will be to finish sheeting it, finish shear webbing it, reinforce the leading edge sheeting, and then just saw me kind of messing around. The plans call for very specific sheeting on the ailerons, 4 inches on top and 3 inches on bottom. It's kind of like something like that. And then and then it's got a really unique, you kind of cut it at an angle, the aileron. So I'll have to make a template for that so I can mark each one of these. I'll probably get some sheeting on it before I cut it away, you know, kind of figure out where I'll probably mark it and then sheet it to where those marks are at. I'll have to make a template here. Here, let's show you what I'm looking at here. So you see that there? Well, we still have all this in the middle here. You can see how it's hinged on the top. So that's going to give you differential, I do believe, is what they're after. You know, by putting it up high and not down low down here. We could change it if we wanted to. I don't think we need to. I think I want to keep this. So I'll make a template of this and we'll line it up on the rib right here and make this angle mark here. You can see this one better. And make this angle mark. This is actually the flat, but it's done much in the same way. Okay. And then, you know, if they're all sheeted, once we get the sheeting on, top and bottom, I can come in here with a knife and cut these. And then I'll cut to the spars to finish this, get this gap going. And then this gets plated on the back with a piece of wood. And then so does the front with that. So, yeah, a little bit of finagling and we'll get through this wing. So that's all in the details. That's what takes the time. But not too bad for about an hour's worth of work, eh? Servo's going to land right in here, right up in here. So I'll have to make some mounts. And then it gets sheeted over the top. And then aileron linkage goes there, so I have to have a hard point for that, for putting rods through, or put control rods through. So we got some decisions to make, like servos. How we're gonna make the aileron go up and down. Same with the flap. We're gonna do same thing. The others flap servos. I don't know if I'm gonna put it there, put it in the center. I'll have to decide when I get building the center section of the wing here later, hopefully later this afternoon. But anyways, I'm gonna jump ahead and I'm gonna set the other wing up, and I'll bring you back when I got some progress to show you. How's that sound? Let's keep this part here kind of short, and so that way we're not in a huge video. And yeah, so anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Well, it is definitely that time of year again that the furnace is running. Got to get the old pellet stove in the camera here. Not exactly sure where I left off at. It's been a week. I do drive truck for a living, so I'm gone usually Monday through Friday. Unfortunately, this weekend I got to head to Oklahoma, so I got to leave tomorrow morning. So I do not have a whole lot of time to work on the Flying King. Unfortunately, I was planning on building the center section today or tomorrow, and so instead you're going to get a short update video where we're at. I know I took some video of me building the left wing panel with the Great Plains wing jig. Not a fan of it, but there are some pluses to it. The nice thing was being able to build everything on the top and then literally take the whole thing, flip it upside down, clamp it back down the jig, know my wing's pretty straight, and then do all the bottom stuff like the bottom spars, the bottom sheeting, you know, instead of having to, you know, rely, you know, on, you know, pins and stuff to hold it flat. So that was nice. The downfall was to it is, if you remember correctly, I was short 2 ribs when I sliced my ribs off, so I went ahead and handmade those. Well, my alignment tabs weren't drilled correctly, so there was a mistake made there, and when I went to go start to set it up, they were obviously off, and it was going to throw the whole wing out of whack. So I went ahead and built it the traditional way, laying the spars out first, gluing the ribs down one at a time to those spars, you know, pinning everything down to the table, and then just building it up from there, sheeting the top, flipping it over, sheeting the bottom, you know, da 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 da. Have not got the web braces in yet, but we do have a fairly complete right wing and fairly complete left wing panel. So my next thing is going to be getting these dialed in a little better, getting some of the finishing touches on, getting the ends trued up, getting the ailerons cut and free, and we'll show that here soon. I want to get the center wing started, so I went ahead and went down to the local lumberyard today and got my piece of 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch spruce here milled to shape. They're actually pretty nice to me this time and gave me that one for free. So hey, don't, like I said, always forget, don't forget to look up your local lumberyard when you need some hardwood for your spars and stuff. So anyways, we got that cut. So some of the modifications I'm going to make here, and that's mainly what we're going to talk about. And I can bring you over here and show you what I went ahead and I'm going to cut. I already got one rib cut out. This is 1/8 inch ply. No particular reason for using 1/8 inch ply. It's just what I had on hand that seemed you know, reasonable for strength. I went and cut that out on using the bandsaw and the scroll saw combos. I'm gonna use one of my original ribs as a template to drill my holes for the wing jig, so I can build this on the wing jig. I got another one laid out here. I'll get that cut out here. Like I said, unfortunately no building today. Just a lot of planning. So the plan here is we're gonna go dual flap servos. So they'll be out here in the wing somewhere, probably center to the panel or so. You know, put dual standards in there. So that's gonna leave this whole middle bay open up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change these, and I'm gonna put these 2 ribs in the center because I'm gonna make a pull apart wing. And to do that, where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Dang it. There it is. I'm not sure if they make these anymore. But anyways, this is hard to do one-handed. This is a wing joiner kit from SIG. And instead of using, here we'll get it, I'm sure they still make it. Yay! See some of the bolts there and still falling out. One of them must be missing some pieces. That's all right. This makes it super easy. It's actually built for Cadet Senior, that was its initial thoughts, but you can use it in anything that it'll fit. And you can see you can drill. There's some drilling and tapping that goes on here. One side gets permanently attached, and the other side gets 440 screws drilled and tapped in the top of these. And then this is how you will attach the wing panels. So anyways, what you do here is this fits between the spars, and as you can see, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better fit. I mean, it's there. for width. Almost like it was meant to be. So these are going to be my inner ribs. These are going to land right here, like this. This is an 80-inch wing. I don't want to. I got too many big wings as it is. It'd be nice to be able to haul something. So we'll put these in the center, like so. If you can picture that. I'll have to cut a slot out in here for the joiner to fit through. Okay. And then that's how, this will be my root ribs. And then we'll put standard ribs out here. And then we will, I'll have to put some plywood spar bracing in the middle. These get attached to that. They get screwed and glued so they don't go anywhere, like that. See? Makes it super easy, and then you just cut these to size. They give you 2 of them. I don't know why they give you 2 of them. Huh. Anyhow, that's how that all works. So that's one of the modifications we're going to make. And the reason, the other thing is I would like to put a Bombay drop in this. And like I said, I'm going to convert this over to a low winger, to a low wing airplane instead of a high wing. And just for the uniqueness of it, something I've always wanted to do, so why the heck not? And so in here, I'm going to put a Bombay door in, so I'm going to have to come up with some mechanisms to open that up, and I'm going to have to box this in. I might actually cut 4 of these. What do you guys think? Would you put 4 plywood ribs in there instead of balsa? I think 2 is going to be enough. I really do, this root. I don't know what you guys got a week to decide. So you tell me, should I make all of them plywood? Because this is going to be all open, in the middle here, and here for a Bombay. Boom, boom, nice, right? Cool. And then, anyways, and then we'll have to do something back here. But we're definitely, this is part of the modifications that I was talking about when I started this project. So the reason for doing a Bombay is right over here. I believe he's in here. Yeah. See that parachute? Gotta be able to drop Snoopy out of there, right? Might as well have some fun with it. Maybe throw some candy in there for the kids at contests or events or whatever. It's always fun to have something like that. So anyways, that's the idea for that part of it. So anyways, I'm going to get the rest of the pieces made up. Maybe I can get at least the one other plywood rib made up. And then, so I'll be, next weekend we will be building the wing center panel, and there's some things to show you there, like leaving the ribs on the wing tips loose, not gluing them in, so you can set your dihedral. We got to make some dihedral braces, and then we'll hopefully in the next couple of weeks have somewhat of a completed wing. So anyways, I would flip the camera around here. My ugly mug here. Would like to thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe on the videos. We're up to 44, 45 subscribers right now, so like everybody else says, it helps the channel more out than you can imagine. Make sure you're ringing the bell for notifications. It doesn't cost you a thing. And any comments or questions, leave them down in the bottom. I do reply back to you guys as frequently as I get comments. So anyways, you guys have a good night and a good week, and I will talk to you later.